Sean Zattel here with the new WBC Featherweight Champion of the World, Bruce Shu Shu Carrington, fresh off a knockout of Carlos Castro at MSG. Bruce, man, before we start, I gotta say, I told you you'd cry. I told you you would cry after winning the title in the ring.
You did. No, you called it, man. I knew I was gonna have some emotions, but I didn't know if I was gonna cry or not. So you called it though, bro. I had the ugly cry for real.
Do you think that would have been the case though if you hadn't gotten a knockout like that? Like if it had been not such a strong performance on that stage and you'd still won, but do you think it was the way you won too that kind of brought that out of you?
I think I would have been emotional regardless because of what was at stake and how hard I've trained and all of the things that I had to go through in order to get to this point. The accomplishment alone would have still got me emotional, but would I've been as emotional? I don't think so. And like I think the adversity that I had to go through around four and me getting that big finish as well over an opponent like that, yeah, all of that played a part to why I broke down. So like, dude, I walked out of the ring. I could have got disqualified, bro. I did not. I just did it. It was something that I don't know what the heck I was thinking, but it made me like just go crazy, and I'm just really happy how everything went, bro. I wouldn't have changed it for anything in the world.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of when Floyd beat Gennaro Hernandez, or
Hmm.
Gotti, there was only a few in his career where it literally brought him to tears, and
Tears,
every
yeah,
time it was a stoppage.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. It's something sweet about it, man.
So, but yeah, just to take it back to the fight for a minute, man. Castro and Alcazar, Robert Alcazar, his coach.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was a really good coaching battle in the corners. Alcazar trained Oscar at Oscar's prime. I saw the great game plan K. Karoma laid out for you back at Knuckleheads.
Hmm.
What adjustments, to give Castro some credit, did he make to tighten it up? You were up 3-0, and then he made a fight out of it from rounds
Hmm.
4 to 6. What did he do to tighten it up a little bit?
Man, I think he started to really focus on his distancing and really utilize his jab. I always realized and noted that he had a really good jab and he used it frequently. But I think that was one of the main things that he started to implement more into the fight. So when I noticed that, I was like, okay, now I got to take his jab away. What we're gonna do is take his jab away, make him leery of throwing it. All right, we're gonna start slipping it and countering. So now he's like second guessing throwing that jab. And to be honest, that's what set up the knockout. I'd slipped the jab, right hand, boom, caught him clean, and then followed up with the combination. But that was the main thing as well. Oh, smothering his punches as well. Like I think that was a big adjustment that I had to make because he's strong when you give him that distance. When you give him like he's able to extend his shots. Like I was throwing those shots in my arms, and even sometimes I would make a miss, and I would feel the wind go off my head. I'm like, ooh, I would have got caught with that. That would have been some trouble. So yeah, no, he's a strong guy, and he makes a lot of adjustments as well too, to where I had to think outside the box and create a lot of setups. I couldn't be just basic and come forward just shots. Like no, I had to set up a lot of things, change his rhythm, and make him fall into my game plan.
Yeah, did you unlock? Uh, did you find? Did you unlock something in your style that's made your style better as a pro? Kind of fighting your best fight as a pro at the highest level you've had to fight at so far.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just more so about my continuing to build my composure and patience while I'm in a storm. Like no matter what, like if I get hit with a shot, I get caught with a shot, I get buzzed or whatever, like, or even if let's say if I lose a round, not to get overly anxious or too like focused on being perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I could be really hard on myself. I'm like, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Like, no, bro, like just take every moment, for what it is and just work on it in the very next moment. That's all it is. Don't be so hard on myself. And I think that with that maturity, it's really helping me with these fights, and that's why we got the chip today.
How much was it? Just using the jab even more. Just
Yeah,
that alone. Like, how much do you feel like that made you a better fighter?
that made it so much easier for me, man. I remember you was watching me spar Sean, And you were like, bro, like if you used to use your jab more, you could open up a lot of your offense. And bro, it really slowed down the pace of the fight a lot of times for me. I conserved a lot of energy. And it really did set up a lot of things like with my feints and body shots. And the jab is the key to all of that stuff, as we know. So yeah, me using my jab more, it helped out a lot. It helped out a lot in this fight. And I think it's gonna help out a lot in a lot of my future fights well too, because I know I have a pretty good jab.
Yeah, I mean, now that we're talking about it, when I saw that sparring, I was like, damn, Bruce has a really good jab. And then when I looked it up, I said I didn't realize he had a 72-inch reach. He's got a longer
Mhm.
reach than Devin Haney,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm like, man, he's such a good counterpuncher. I'm like, if he forces them to open up because they're getting pelted by the jab, then you're going to be able to do the counterpunching that much more. And I'm like, I guess that's what the old school trainers meant by be first and be last.
yeah, yeah,
So.
definitely, definitely. Mhm.
Um, but okay, to the knockout though. There was a guy tagging us on Instagram too. He was like, "Was that a slip counter or was that a pull counter? Which one was it?"
Dude, it was a slip counter. I saw you guys say
Ah,
pull
damn.
counter. A pull counter is when you pull straight back. That's a pull. That's what Mayweather does. A slip counter is when you go to the side. I slipped to the side,
Right.
boom, and through the right hand. So yeah, it was a slip counter, not a pull counter.
Well, those two things I think are, like when you think of signature Bruce Carrington, it's the slip counter and the pull counter. Like where did that come from? Why is that your specialty? You think?
I think I mean to me, I watch a lot of Floyd. You know, Floyd, he's like the master of the pull counter, slip counter. Well, Mike Tyson was more so of a slip counter guy.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so I think the mixture of both of their styles is like I used to watch them all the time. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I, have mastered that.
Would you put that aspect of your game against anybody in the sport right now?
100%. 100%. It's the setup, like I like to rock guys asleep and then they get real comfortable. They start throwing some shots and then boom. Kind of like similar what Tank Davis does. He rocked a lot of guys asleep, make them get comfortable and then, spark them. So yeah, that's definitely something I'll use against anyone.
Who's the creme de la creme right now in the sport when it comes to the pull and slip counter game?
Cool. Right now,
Yeah.
hmm. I mean, to be honest, I say Tank. Tank, he's like one of the best guys with the pull counter, slip counter. He's very explosive when it comes to that. Like I see a lot of different guys. Like Inoue is pretty good at it as well. I'm thinking of the top guys. I say Tank. Yeah, that's one of his strong suits.
I gotta get another day. I gotta get like a top five out of you when you get time to sit
Yeah,
down and watch some fights again. And now that
yeah,
you're out of camp for a little bit, yeah.
yeah, for sure. We could definitely get up and do that anytime.
Well, okay. So you mentioned Inoue has a great pull counter game, man.
Mhm.
That that fight now, how much more realistic do you think it is now that you got your hands on a chip?
It's very realistic now, and I'm super excited for what's to come. This next 2 years is going to be really special. We're going to be really like making a lot of noise, and I think that it's right there. It's on the cusp of happening, and everything is really falling into place for me, man. I really want to be the first guy to do it, to be in a way, and then we're going to be on that real like superstardom level, and a lot of things is just going to start to fall into place for me, man. I truly know that I can be him.
Yeah, he well first, what do you want more if you had to pick unifications or a fight with him?
Fight with him. Yeah, fight with him because like the unifications, yeah, like I feel like I could still do that regardless, like after it, But I think the fight with him is like something I want. I want more because it would just put me on that level. I feel like me beating him will put me on a certain level over even certain unification fights. Honestly,
Yeah, I remember you back in December you were a little worried that Nakatani might be the first to beat him before he gets to 26. And then yeah, we saw how their doubleheader went. Do you still feel that way or
no, no, I don't feel that way anymore. I think Nakatani he has some real holes in his defense with the up close fighting. He gets hit way too much in the inside. He gets really uncomfortable in there. So, and I think in ways he's really too crisp and sharp inside fighting, outside fighting. Um, I think Nakatani has his best chance fighting on the outside, but in the inside, bro. Anyways, the inside game is not the best either, to be honest. But he's better than Nakatani in the inside for sure. So I think that's going to be a big downfall for
He pulled up to watch you at the Garden,
him.
and obviously that's where you won your first title. He sold a pretty good crowd against Ramon Cardenas. You
Hmm.
know, he could probably fight the Mexican American champions on the West Coast and do a good number on the West Coast. But do you feel like you and him, an American champion from New York in the Garden, that's his biggest fight in America right now?
Yeah, I definitely think that's the biggest fight in America. And I think that he should have some interest to fight in America as well because that'll make him into an even bigger fighter if he becomes like, more successful with more fights here and stuff like that. So to build his name, I feel like when a person from overseas, a champion from overseas, when they're successful in America, they really like hit a different level of like stardom. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if he wants to do that, if he wants to, achieve that, come see your boy.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, it was '97 when Prince Nassim fought Kevin Kelly, a New
Yeah,
Yorker in the Garden. So this would
yeah.
be, I mean, if you guys were to fight next year, let's say that's like a 30-year anniversary joint right there.
Yeah, yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope. And I would redeem my guy Kevin Kelly, man. I gotta redeem him for that. That would be really dope, man. That'd be awesome.
I know you're probably scouting him, and you don't want to give away too much of what you see and everything. But why does Bruce Carrington beat Naoya Inoue?
Now, in a way, just it's certain things in his defense and his offense that falls right into Bruce Carrington's style. And it's just as simple as that. And Bruce Carrington, he believes that he's the best. So it's just honestly just as simple as that. That's all it is.
Well, okay, so to that point, who rank for me right now the four featherweight champions?
Featherweight champions.
Hmm.
Nick Bull and Espinoza, they're like kind of tie for me. And then Angelo Leo.
So you got Angelo number two behind yourself.
Well, okay, so I wasn't putting myself in. I thought you was just,
Oh yeah, I'm always
yeah.
going to assume
Oh,
you're put
I
yourself
mean,
number one,
I'm
right?
number one.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm number one, but I mean, like but number two, I see Nick Ball and Espinoza tied at number two, and Angelo Leo number three.
Oh, why is that? Why
Um,
in that order?
because the way they fight, like Nick Ball and Espinoza, when they fight, they're very dominant. They're more dominant in their victories than Angelo Leo is with his fights. So I feel like it's a different, and they're both undefeated. They have a different type of mentality. It's gonna be harder to beat those guys than it is Leo. He's seen what it's like to lose. He's accepted a loss and stuff like that. The mentality is different. So yeah, I got those guys over.
Which unification would you like to get the most though, if you had your choice?
Nick Ball, Nick Ball first. Nick Ball first. I would like to fight because I think it should be big for USA and the UK to have that rivalry again. I think it'll be awesome. Rafael Espinoza, I would like to fight with him as well too, but I think the Nick Ball one is just a little more interesting to me. But the Rafa one is still a great one as well too. It's up there, but Nick Ball.
So you got Nick Ball beating Figueroa this weekend.
Yeah, I do. I don't think it's gonna be easy, but I do. I definitely do.